Yeah, go straight to the Half Pint.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But once we're on the now we crossed the very theoretical line of entering into the Half Pint, and of course,
Is it? This is the Half Pint.
This is the Half Pint. Yeah.
No one waved a flag or anything.
All right, I'll make a flag. Next week we'll have a flag. The Half Pint flag.
The Half Pint flag.
That would actually be kind of cool. But yeah, we have been kind of letting ourselves go, and then of course, once you get a new one in, then you try to act a bit better for a period until you realize that fuck it, I can't be bothered anymore. But we haven't really been we haven't done a welcome to the Half Pint in forever, probably the last 70 episodes. But I mean, Phil asking that question now. We have the intro. This is the Half Pint. Welcome.
I mean, in the beginning, the Half Pint were just the leftovers on the editing floor, so to say, stitched together to something resembling something, and then it was nice to relax a bit and lay back. And I don't know. I mean, it's not that we're that formal in the main episode, but we try not to Google that much.
Yeah. It's for me it's the Google hour, because to be honest it's not a Half Pint. It usually ends up being a lot longer than that, but I don't care about the clicking noise of the keyboard anymore. So anything we're wondering, instead of actually thinking, we just Google shit.
So I'm gonna Google Phil makes stuff.
Yeah, you do that, and then
right now.
To our listeners, since this is the Google hour, you can instead of taking the laborious task of writing things into Google yourself, you can send them to us and we'll Google it for you in a week's time, and probably we're off topic before we even get to the point. And so it's more like a better version of the I'm feeling lucky button at Google.
That's a wonderful segment. Can you Google this for me?
Yeah.
Phil makes stuff.
And then we have Marco wondering what is strumpstrudel in Swedish. And then, we can probably answer that after some extensive Googling. But yeah.
Sorry.
Should we put up
That's
a
why we
picture?
don't do it in the main episode, because we get those nerd sniping.
Phil makes stuff. He's got.
Should we put up a picture of him on Instagram? Yeah.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
Does he have a picture, or is it like this old Tony kind of thing?
It's a bloke in a respirator mask.
Oh.
I build things, making woodworking cinematic. Interested in the things I make?
Not a linguistic then. Okay.
Well, that's something to dive into later. I'm not signed into Instagram, so I can't see anymore. Oh well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Does any one of you actually use Instagram on your computer? I kind of know that was a thing, but I've never done it, and then I couldn't be bothered getting my phone at some point. So I tried to just log on at my computer, and then of course you need to put in a verifying code that we have now sent to your phone. Oh, God damn it. So then, that stranded before I even got started.
I sometimes have it on the web. Yeah. I've also, they've just updated their iPad app, and it's absolutely horrible. Because their iPad app now is basically them desperately trying to take on the likes of TikTok, so it defaults to just showing you short form video. None of the stuff you follow, none of your followers, none of your feed is the default view. You have to go and purposely select that. So the first thing that you're presented with is just
Rubbish.
dross that they feed into your eyes and saying, be entertained for 4 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't they put like a slider or something like that in the top? So if you put it on one way, you only get the people you follow, and the other way, it's totally algorithm, and you can put it somewhere in between depending what you feel like. I mean,
Well, of course they could do that, but that doesn't sell ads, does it?
But that's the thing, though, because I've been kind of impressed the last couple of days, because there has always been things has become rubbish, and then someone make a post, well, the people have the power, so if you all just not do that or sign off or put our names on this list, then they have to listen to us if all 500 million of us do this. But of course, that's futile, getting everyone to doing that. But it seems like the Jimmy Kimmel case, enough people actually turned off their subscription to Disney that they actually had a major plunge on the stock market. And I'd like, did I just watch that tactic actually work? And now he's back on telly again, they say. So, yeah, but might be a coincidence, but...
Yeah, I didn't know he was back on TV, but then I don't really follow what's going on TV too closely.
Me neither, but yeah,
good
it is
on you.
Nice.
Yeah, but that means the premise is if just enough of us like unsubscribes to Meta is it that and just not buy iPhones anymore, then Apple will surely just have to make proper stuff that's The
hard stuff there is why are you unsubscribing and that sort of thing, and I mean, I have never bought an Apple product in my life, so me not buying an iPhone, that doesn't really register either.
Oh, that's sad, because I didn't have a Disney account either, and then should I register one just to unsubscribe, just to drive the point home? That, I mean, that's a zero-sum game, so that just doesn't make a difference. But other than I feel good about it. Yeah,
I'm going to open an account just to close it.
Take that. Yeah.
No, I do know people who have just shut themselves off from social media entirely. They just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've done a pretty good job myself. I'm on YouTube and Instagram, and I close everything. There's some stuff I've never been on. I've never been on. Never had a TikTok account. I did ask a young person once how Snapchat worked, because remember when Jimmy DiResta started doing shorts on Snapchat? I thought, okay, I'll have a look at that. That sounds quite interesting, short form video, etc. And I just couldn't make it. I had no head nor tail of how that damn thing worked. So I asked our young apprentice at the time, "How does this work?" And she was showing me. So like, I have not got time for this. Delete.
I mean, wasn't the premise of that app at one point that you could send pictures to people that just disappeared, that you could also not screenshot because it did not allow you that? So it just ended up being people sending nudes to each other because they knew that the picture would disappear after 10 seconds. So I kind of thought
I think so. But then they realized that you can use another phone and take a photo of the first phone, and then you got the picture anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Then they got to sell a second phone.
Every new innovation just gets streamlined into something that's already exists or is boring or...
Yeah. Well, I left Facebook in 2014, I think. And then I kept using the Messenger app. And at some point they said, no, fuck it. You need now to have an account to use the Messenger app. I'm like, right, then I'll switch to something else. So that's why I'm on WhatsApp today. And I think I tried something in between there as well. But of course, WhatsApp is now owned by Meta, and the same is Instagram. And at some point, yes, you you don't have to have a Facebook account, but you need a Meta account. And then, of course, when I made the behind the mistakes account, I just all right, I have that on Instagram and YouTube, and yeah, it's also on Facebook, but it's just things are being dumped there automatically from Instagram, so I never log on to there. And I have then, of course, my name as a user in the Facebook, but it's not an active account. But nobody else can register an account in my name and use that. So in theory, I have a account there, but haven't logged on to it in God knows when. The same with this we covered in an earlier episode, but I also spent quite the time getting out of the Apple universe. I mean, if you think Adobe makes it hard to unsubscribe of their package, then I mean they're not reaching the knees of Apple, and that's an American corporate as well. So once I called them, I would like to end my iTunes account. What? Turns out not many people do that, and the guy I was talking to, he had never done that, and it was outside of his pay grade. So he had to talk to a senior customer, something, and then he had never done it as well, but he had access in the system to get the manual, and he was reading, like, all right, now I know. So you're sure you want to do this? Yes, and then yeah, this by American law, you has to answer a lot of questions, and I spent the entire process after they picked up the phone and I got to talk to a person. It took me close to a full hour, and you had to answer questions like, are you planning to be in any lawsuits against Apple or affiliates and whatnot? And you had to like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, until he could like, okay, now I'm ready to press the button. Are you sure you want? Because everything is gone. All the money you've spent on buying. Yes, press it. Are you sure? Like, you almost had to get angry with them. But yeah, that was interesting. I mean, for me.
So you're not a fan of Apple then?
No. I mean, yeah. At some point, I loved my iPhone 4. The user friendliness is very much on point. You can't really screw anything up, and then I bought an amplifier with a docking station. Very pleased about that. But then, of course, iPhone 5, new plug. So that amplifier was totally useless for what I was using it for. And then it went downhill from there. And once I started also making content, some of the software, which is Windows based, or like for instance, now I'm using a Sony phone because it got a 3.5 jack, so it's very easy to do tricks with audio and transferring of files and whatnot. I mean, it was just a hassle having Apple software as an interface into that. If I had a Mac, I would probably be happy as a dodo, but no, being a Windows guy at the computer realm was a clash having an Apple phone and that. So yeah, it's just I'm an old grumpy guy basically. So this probably boils down to that.
I'm an old grumpy guy who's been exclusively Mac since 1994, and I'm also employed for my Mac knowledge. So
you're never going to change.
I ain't never going to change. Although the latest operating system is a big steaming pile of hot garbage. What have they done? But let's not go into that. That's no. Boring. That's almost verging about talking about work, which no.
No. Let's not go there.
This is escapism.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of a tangent on that. On another podcast, the Full Blast podcast, I heard that Honor Koglar of Dice in Every Film said that he made £2,000 his first month on OnlyFans. So that could be a different career if anyone's up for it.
Doing what?
He said that he only posted pictures of him in the gym with his top off, just lifting weights and showing his muscles. I mean, he's a rather fit guy, so
Yeah,
I can see that.
that's a no then.
I mean, some
What
people
else?
like the dad bods. I've heard.
Yeah. Slightly balding, ginger, dad. It's a narrow niche, and I mean, if you're lucky enough
Slightly
to
balding.
strike it, or what is the paying willingness there? I'm not sure.
Well, you know, if you can think of it, then probably someone would be willing to pay for it. But
I'm sure that there's some kind of ask even with gay men, because it sounds like gay men are the people who are throwing lots of money at this kind of thing. Who wants a nice handyman
All right,
who
but
can fix stuff around the house and that sort of thing.
let's turn it around then. And instead of me spending time and resources trying to think what people would like to see and pay handsomely for, just tell me, what would you like me to do and what are you willing to pay for it? Then I can make a list and try to find the intersection between what am I willing to do for what set amount of money. Then
And what maybe you want to have a chat with your wife as well. What you're allowed to do.
and
What
possibly
am I allowed to
should-
put on the
cats
internet,
and,
dear?
I should plot that into the graph as well. But I'm guessing if you are paying
some legal
enough, I
counsel
think
as
that
well.
yeah. Then it becomes complicated. Too many variables. Yeah, okay, maybe not.
Well, as I have discovered, as soon as you try and monetize, you know, a hobby, it's not fun anymore.
That's because it's work then.
Yeah,
It's a job. So that's the problem.
yeah. No, I have a job. These are the things I do to remind me that I don't have to. This is what I do when I'm not at the job.
This is the thing I do to stay alive enough to do the things I actually want to do. So yeah, it's
Yeah, that's a
Pretty
good
much that.
summarize of it.
Yeah.
someone changed the icon on the WhatsApp group. It
Yeah,
became
that
black
was
and
me.
white.
Yeah, that's the old group.
Yeah, so you don't do the mistake of writing one thing in the other, and vice
Yeah.
versa.
So
Yeah.
Glenn can feel that he's left out.
Yeah, the cold shoulder ass. Yeah, nice. That's yeah. I mean, it's to be fair though. Although it's ended on good terms, I mean, it needs to have some consequences. I mean, you can't just do a move like that and nothing. So a little bit of a sting needs to be. Yeah, that's in order.
So what's the plan for the coming weeks? Are you in panic mode yet, Hover, about Skaperfestivalen? Or are you in denial?
I am in panic mode. But I ordered an accordion that I hope is gonna is gonna
Solve
soothe my
everything.
nerves. Yeah,
You're throwing small amounts of money at the problem.
exactly. No, I think that if I get that in the time they say it will be here, I think I can have a proof of concept of the bellows system. And as we talked of that, once I have that, that might be the start of an undefined hiatus for the Hell Quarter. I'm going to be honest, I haven't been all back into it with this bellow system because it doesn't give me the same joy as it has been. So yeah, maybe I should just put it on a shelf and think of something else. Then of course you get the brilliant ideas while you're looking elsewhere. um, so I realized, and kind of not looking forward to. I now know what I should bring to the Maker Festival, and when you start adding things up, it gets heavy. Then you have to get it onto a trailer, and then you have to drive it into the city who doesn't have parking space. So I need to talk to someone to help me get it on and off and drive the car. And you're going to be there for 2 days, and then you're going to have to get it back again and sort it and back into the workshop. So it turns out it was a lot more work than I initially had in my mind when I filled out the form online and thought, this sounds fun. So, but I haven't got they had a record amount of like applicants this year, so I might not get through the eye of the needle, so to speak. But I mean, I got a reply on Instagram once I posted that I've applied from Smogdog, which is one of the generals of the whole arrangement, and like it was like, yes, this is really good news. So I mean, I'm kind of guessing that I'm not getting out of this. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a month away from recording. When this episode is published, it's less than a month.
Yeah. And it would have been okay, I guess. Except this weekend we went to my wife's aunt's cabin from Friday to Sunday, so didn't get to do anything then. And then I have mentally just not reflected upon that. But next week it's like the autumn holiday here in this region, so yeah, we are going to another cabin for the coming weekend from Friday until Tuesday. So I won't be getting anything done this week or next weekend. So I'm probably going to have nothing to talk about in the next recording. And then it's 3 weekends left to do everything. And that hardly leaves time for procrastinating or deviating from the plans, which I usually do. So, yeah, it's hard. The maker life isn't what I thought it was.
It sounded an awful lot like work.
It did. So, but of course, I'm the one to learn from my own mistakes. That's the best way to learn. So I'm not doing that again next year. That's for sure. So yeah, I can look forward to that.
Mistakes is your kind of thing. So
yeah, it is. So how about your plan for the next week? I mean, you need to have something in place. Since I can't talk about making next week, then you need to cover that basis.
Well, I've got to crack on with a secret thing which you are all aware of, and I am all aware of.
I hope you are aware of your own secret things. It would be really fun to have a secret thing that's secret from yourself.
Yeah.
And now you have full access to all the documents and everything to that secret thing. So yeah.
I know. I've been reading through all the documents. Enlightening reading, gentlemen. Enlightening reading. Yes, because there are certain deadlines to hit for that, and time is limited. So you think, that's ages away, and then all of a sudden that's next week. Shit, I've done absolutely nothing.
Yeah. That's the thing with calendars. Time just keeps ticking.
No, there's also those really annoying 5-day blocks where you've got to go away and sit in an office for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
And then commute for 2 hours either side of that.
Yeah.
Where you could be doing interesting things, but you've got to go to this other place. 5 days in a row. Horrible.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be allowed.
It shouldn't be.
No.
No, I know. That's the reason why I get depressed, because I'm also into statistics and I can't help it, but sometimes I just that's 60-80% of every week is then gone and sitting in an office chair doing things you don't want to do while you're dreaming of what you want to do. And then if you start adding that up and like average lifespan and whatnot and best and worst possible outcomes of that, it's that's enough to put anyone down.
Well, I worked out the other day, because my official start time is 8:30, but I like to get in about 8 o'clock, because if you get in at 8, you get time to do stuff. You miss most of the traffic.
Yeah.
because we're right next to a school. So there's all the people being dropped off. So if you hit that sort of part of town at the wrong time, chaos. 10 minutes previously, perfectly clear. And I worked out, how much have I given away by giving half an hour a day every weekday for 18 years? And it was like, so you've given them almost a year of your time for free. And adjusted for inflation, about £50,000 worth of your time. That's depressing.
That is depressing.
Yep. Just by being half an hour early, just to miss the traffic, just to have time to sit down and get the coffee on and think about opening your emails.
But that's the question, though. I'm guessing all the three of us, we are producing some documents, not maybe physically, but digitally. But most of our work is in the what's it called, the thought realm, or in our heads, basically. And then once I get up and I'm stuck in traffic, I can't help it, but I think about, all right, what should I do first when I get to job, and how should I do this and that. I'm basically working. I'm just not sitting in front of my computer. Then the question is, I should get paid for this. I mean, once I'm leaving the door at home, I'm on the clock. I mean, if you ask my employer, he doesn't agree with that. Of course, he's like, once you're in the door here. So then it's not that I only have lost that time, but they have also cheated me out for paying me for that time, because I have spent it for them, because I'm sitting thinking about work stuff. So they're fucking you over twice then. And then you have the return trip later in the day where so you're getting fucked 4 times a day, excluding the time you're actually in the office.
That's a good thing with being a consultant. I mean, I can start billing when I feel like it. I mean, I had times when I'm laid awake at night because I'm angry at the project, and yep, that's at least 2 hours. I'm gonna bill them for this.
Yeah, but that's a good thing, though, because I have on my projects, most of the people are employees in the company, but some of them are hired in consultants. And of course, the regular people, they are filing their hours, and I get them, and yeah, they have worked this many hours this week on the project, and I have to accept it or not accept it. But of course, all the consultants, they have a separate line, because they are just invoicing an amount based on an agreement, of course. But how they spend their time, or if they do travels and whatnot, it really doesn't show on my end. But if my employee is like, yeah, I would also like to go for a site visit, and then that's a different number, and that have to be approved, and I have to jump through loops and hoops to get that approved and whatnot. But the consultants, they can just do it, and they just you just invoice on that one singular number. Of course, it's probably different from companies to companies, but then I thought, yeah, maybe I should just be a consultant. I could still do the same as I do today. It's just that, as you said, I can just invoice for the time I'm working and have more freedom, because nobody really cares. It's just like, is the job done? Yes. Have you sent the invoice in time for us to register it for this month? Yes. Then that's all I care about. So yeah, I haven't listened to them for 15 plus years. I might have changed a bit since then.
I mean, you hope that you have changed a bit since then.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, you may have done. You think about films that you really, really enjoyed when you were like a tragic teenager. Yeah. And you think, oh no, that's a really good film. I'm going to watch that again. And you watch it and think, my God, this is absolute trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I used to enjoy this film? I watched this film multiple times.
But we've all gone through a trash period, I think.
But talking about movies, I discovered a new one. It has the very fitting name of, and I don't remember it, so I'm just gonna like Kazasa or something. It is a Eastern European version, low budget of Star Wars.
Okay.
Not a copy, but yeah, it's the same universe almost, and it has become a cult thing. But I haven't been able to find it other than on the original language on YouTube with Hungarian subtitles. So anything with English subtitles I haven't found yet, but just by the description of it, it sounds brilliant. Brilliantly rubbish or rubbishly brilliant. Either way, I just wanted to see it. So because I've stopped watching the old movies that I remember as good, but I don't have the same with music. Usually, music that I liked when I was young, I still like because they give me a trip down the memory lane.
Oh no, that's absolutely true.
Unless you do the mistake of going to a concert, because then you get faced with, oh, you're too old for this. So even if you go to an old rock band, the last time I went to see the Scorpions, and I really loved it because they went on tour where they also played some of the more obscure songs from the 70s, which was the ones that I discovered that nobody else listened to. So I went there and the music was brilliant, but at some point it's like, yeah, if I leave now, I can beat everyone else and traffic. And then, of course, you paid good money for a concert. For a band you probably like more than average, but then again, you're prioritizing beating traffic and all the people getting out of the venue. And of course, I wasn't in a mosh pit. I had a very comfortable seat up in the balcony somewhere, or, well, not the balconies, those are exclusive, but yeah, far at the back. So I snuck out before everyone else and got onto the bus to the train station. And was more pleased about beating everyone else back home than I was actually being there. So, yeah.
Suckers, I'm going to be home and tucked up in bed with the hot chocolate by 10 o'clock.
Exactly.
Well, different priorities.
And I got a better sound system at home than at the venue, sitting at the back. And no people screaming and shouting or standing in the way. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, I value a decent hi-fi system or, a good home cinema over going out where with all those other people.
There's people out there.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, there was a time when you go to the cinema and, you'd accept it through like the trailers and the adverts and all that sort of stuff. But when the main film started, people would just shut the fuck up and watch the film.
Yeah.
But these days, no, it's like sitting in someone's front room. Yeah, they're on their phones, they're having conversations with the person sat next to them. It's like, cinema tickets aren't cheap anymore.
They definitely are not.
No, and I do still go to the cinemas, but it is not for my pleasure. It's for giving the kids the joy of cinema. Not sure why I do it, but of course there is some new children's movie that they would like to go to the cinemas because then they get candy on a weekday. It's not that I haven't seen through their priorities, but yeah, it's not cheap bringing two kids and an adult and going into the cinemas. Yeah, that's an arm and a leg. And if you don't get to buy the candy at the regular store a few blocks away and they have to buy that at the cinema store as well, then that is twice the amount of the tickets. So yeah, you're on the poorhouse for the next month until you recover.
And then it's all the specifically branded stuff as well. I mean, when we went and saw the Minecraft movie, or a Minecraft movie, they had special Minecraft popcorn balls that were shaped like bricks, and they cost like 50 quid for a piece of plastic with popcorn in it. It was ridiculous.
You've just got to have it though.
Yeah, and I saw some kids walking around and that's like, I don't understand it. It was...
Yeah. That's the thing, though. You still... you still do it, but I don't. Yeah, no, I don't get it.
We are old. That's it. Oh, now, damn it, we're back at that again.
Yeah.
But whoever came up with the idea of doing a Minecraft Lego tie-in is just an absolute genius. Right, this is perfect marketing materials. Don't even have to make any special bricks.
It's just we already have those. Yeah.
We've got all this out the back. It's fine.
Yeah.
You just throw some boxes on it. Perfect. Very clever.
Yeah, because it's been a few years now when you had Lego Technics and now all the new collectible items with very specific piece to like, yeah, you can build the Titanic and whatnot. And yeah, the Minecraft movie came along and like, yeah, we have a whole warehouse of the old stuff, like the square bricks that we never got to sell the last 10 years. So yeah, send someone in with a compressor and blow the dust off it and start packing. Yeah.
Ship all this stuff out.
That being said, though, and then it's on the old theme again. I mean, at some point, yes, I had a better sound system and a home cinema setup at home. But I have reduced it to the point where the speaker isn't a defining feature of the rest of the furniture in our living room. But that being said, though, the small, relatively cheap studio monitors that are now connected to the television upstairs are far superior than the very expensive kit that I bought 20 plus years ago for my hardly earned pocket money. So that is interesting, though. I mean, yes, they don't shake the house to the core. You need big woofers for that, but otherwise, audio quality and also bass is. I'm still amazed by these small speakers today.
It's really impressive, actually.
Because I did see that video of Jimmy DiResta because he built a kit. I built a few of those. Like it's a huge floor standing speaker with several elements, and you're like, it got a 90 streak over it. That video. It was a memory lane thing for me, but I was kind of glad that I didn't have to lift the speakers after I built them because I remember how heavy they were.
Or when you had a stereo system that had massive speakers with it, you're always disappointed that how light they were.
Yeah.
It's like, these aren't very good quality, are they? They look the business, but these speakers are really light, which means they're probably rubbish.
Well. I did. I think I was 15 years old. I was very much into hi-fi and bought speakers and asked around and did all the calculation and making and built speaker cabinets and huge speakers. Spent all my money on that. Hooked them up to my father's amplifier / radio because that's what I had, and they sounded shit. And of course, my father being a radio engineer and like, yeah, that's because that radio / amplifier over there, it peaks at 12.5 watts. So it was never meant to drive one of the speakers in your setup. So you need a new amplifier. Oh yeah, amplifiers. And then I started looking into that's not cheap. So it took me a couple of years, I think, because before I had an amplifier who could do them justice.
Yeah, the quality out is only as good as the quality in and all that stuff.
And then I had a period of car audio. That is a different game altogether. But
yeah, that's just weird.
But I've been there, and it is weird though. I remember there is this one brand, and I remember to this day. They were called Phoenix Gold. They had a line of speakers. expensive good speakers, and of course today they are collectibles, so they're still expensive. But they had a flagship where they took two of their biggest amplifiers and they mashed them into one cabinet, which was basically just a meter long aluminum heatsink, and they called it the Bandit, and they slapped like a logo of a cowboy with a bandana on it in like some silver plated. It looks the part, and it came in a huge wooden box with this like wood shavings and everything. So it was a complete package. They were the apple of the day. I mean, the box was just as much as the content. And I saw one on eBay here the other day, and it cost just as much as it did new. And yeah, I still want it. Not in my car. I wouldn't for the life of me, but yeah, I could buy that to put it on the wall. But still, I think that's tacky. It would look tacky. I really don't want it on my wall, but still, there is instinct inside of me like, you want to buy this. You want to buy this.
I've got to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still have all of our ages beforehand, and the 15-year-old you really wants that. But you shouldn't let that guy in the driver's seat. That guy should stand in the back and just have opinions instead.
I remember swearing to my mom when we went at the store because they had a section of Matchbox cars, and sometimes I got one, but not every time we went to the store, obviously. And I remember at some point I was swearing that when I get to make my own money, I'm going to buy all the cars. And even adjusted for the inflation, I could probably do that today, go into the store and buy all the Matchbox cars on that stand. But I don't want anymore. But the 7-year-old inside of me, he's screaming, now you got the money, do it. But no. I got other wishes now that are more expensive that I can't afford. So I'm guessing the 60-year-old me is going to screaming at the 40-year-old me, like, or other way around. Like,
Yeah, you always think like that. When I'm grown up, I'm going to do all these things, and I'm going to eat what I want, and I'm going to go to bed when I want. And then you realise, no, you can't eat what you want because
I have tried that for a while, but that's a road I needed to get off again.
And then your doctor says, let's chat about your cholesterol.
Yeah. Cholesterol what? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cholesterol all over the place.
You can't go to bed when you want because you've got to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Responsibilities. Oh, now we're back at old age again. Let's end this for
let's end
this
it
time.
Before,
Next week, no old man chat.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a short
I'll put it on the list and I'll forget it because I'm old.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay, have a good one. Bye.